I suppose they've each got Tweedle around the back of their collars.
If you think we're waxworks, not to pay, though. Waxworks aren't made to be like that for nothing. No how.
Contrariwise, if you think we're alive, you ought to speak.
I'm sure I'm very sorry.
I know you're thinking, but is it so? No how.
Contrariwise, if it were so, it might be. And if it was so, it would be. But since it isn't, it ain't. That's logic.
I was wondering if you could tell me the way out of these woods. It's getting very dark. What a couple of schoolboys they look like. First boy.
No how.
Next boy.
Contrariwise,
Would you tell me, please?
you like poetry?
Oh, yes. Pretty well. Some poetry.
What's your repertoire?
The walrus said the carpenter. That's longest.
Oh, if it's too long, would you...
The sun was shining on the sea.
Shining with all its might,
He did his very best to make.
the billows stood and bright.
And this was odd.
Because it was middle of the night. The walrus and the carpenter were walking close at hand, and wept like anything to see such quantities of sap.
If this were only cleared away,
They said,
it would be grand. What oysters come along with us? The walrus did beseech. A pleasant walk and a pleasant talk along the briny beach.
we cannot do with more than four to give a hand at each. The eldest oyster looked at them, and never a word he said. The oldest oyster winked his eye and shook his heavy head, meaning to say he did not choose to leave the oyster in bed.
4 young oysters hurried up, all eager for the treat. Their coats were brushed, their fingers washed, their feet clean. And this is odd because, you know, they had many feet. 4 other oysters followed them, and got another 4. And thick and fast they came at last, and more and more and more, all hopping through the frothy waves and scrambling to the shore.
The walrus and the carpenter walked on a mile or so. Then they rested on a rock conveniently low. All the little oysters stood and waited in a row.
The time has come, the walrus said, to talk of many things.
Of shoes and ships and sailing marks, of cabbages and kings.
Why the sea is boiling hot, and whether pigs have wings.
A loaf of bread, the walrus said, is what we chiefly need.
And pepper and vinegar besides are very good indeed.
Now if you're ready, oysters dear, we will begin to feed.
But not on us, the oysters cried, turning a little blue. After such kindness, that be a dismal thing to do.
The walrus said nothing but, butter spread too thick. I weep for you, the walrus said. I deeply sympathize.
With sobs and tears he sorted out, and those of larger size, holding his pocket handkerchief before his screaming eyes.
Now if you're ready, oysters dear, we will begin to feed.
It seemed a ship go out, and there was such a trick.
Oysters said the shooter, we've had a pleasant run. Shall we be trying home again? But answers came there none. This is scarcely odd because they each and every one.
I like the walrus best, because you see, he was a little sorry for poor oysters.
But he ate more than the carpenter, though. You see, he held his handkerchief before the carpenter's eyes, so he couldn't count how many he ate.
That's mean. Then I like the carpenter best, if he can eat as many as the walrus.
But he ate as many as he could get.
Then they were both very unpleasant characters. Now, would you tell me the way out of these woods? I think it may rain.
I don't think it's going to rain. Well, not here anyway.
No how.
It may rain outside.
It may rain if it chooses. We have no objections. Contrariwise.
Selfish things. Am I addressing the White Queen?
Well, yes, if you call that addressing. It isn't my opinion to think at all.
If your Majesty will only tell me the correct way to do it, I shall do it to the best of my ability.
But I don't want to do it all. I've been addressing myself for the last 2 hours.
Every single thing's crooked, and she's all over in pins. Mind we just show straight view.
I don't know what's the matter with it. It's out of temper, I think. I pinned it here and I pinned it there, but there's just no pleasing it.
It can't go straight, you know, if you pin it all to one side. Oh dear me, what a state your hair is in.
Raj got entangled in it, and I lost the comb yesterday.
Come, you look rather better now, but really, you should have a lady's maid.
I'm sure I'll take you with pleasure. 2 pence a week and jam every other day.
I don't want you to hire me, and I don't care too much for jam.
It's very good jam.
Well, I don't want any today at any rate.
You could have it if you did want it. The rule is jam tomorrow and jam yesterday, but never jam today.
It must sometimes come to jam today.
No, it can't. It's jam every other day. Today isn't any other day, you know.
I don't understand you. It's dreadfully confusing.
That's because I've been living backwards. It makes the run look pretty at first.
Living backwards? I've never heard of such a thing.
But there is one great advantage in it. The one's memory works both ways.
I'm sure mine only works one way.
The poor sort of memory only works backwards.
What sort of things do you remember best?
Things that happened the week after next. For instance now, there's a king's messenger. He's in prison being punished. And the trial is going to begin next Wednesday. And of course, the crime comes last of all.
Suppose he never commits the crime.
That would be all the better, wouldn't it?
Well, it wouldn't be all the better him being punished.
You're wrong there, at any rate. Have you ever been punished?
Only for faults.
And you're all the better for it, I know.
Well, yes, but then I have done the things I was punished for. That makes all the difference.
That would be better still. Better, better, better!
There's a mistake somewhere. What have you done? You pricked your finger?
No, my suit!
Why do you have to do it?
When my jaw comes down directly!
Oh, do take care!
See now? God, those are bleeding.
Why don't you scream now?
Why? I've done all the screams already. What would be the use in it?
I'm glad it's getting lighter. I thought it was the night coming on.
I wish I could manage to be glad. Only, I never could remember the rules.
It's so very lonely here.
Don't go on like that. Consider what a great girl you are. Consider how far you've been. Consider what a flock it is. Consider anything, only just don't cry.
Can you keep from crying by considering things?
Well, that's the way things are done here. You can't do 2 things at once, you know. Let's consider your age to begin with. How old are you?
I am 7.5 exactly.
You needn't say exactly. I can believe that. Now here's something for you to believe. I'm 101 5 months in a day.
Oh, I can't believe that.
Can't you? Try again. Take a deep breath in and close your eyes.
Oh, it's no use. One can't believe impossible things.
I dare say you haven't had much practice. Why, when I was a little girl, I practiced for half an hour a day. Why, sometimes I believe as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast. Oh, there goes the shawl again. I've got it. Now you shall see me put it on and all by myself.
Then I hope your finger is better now.
Oh, much better. Much better. Better.
Like an egg he looks.
Very provoking to be called an egg.
Oh, I said you look like an egg. And some eggs are very pretty, you know.
Some people have no more sense than a baby.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty in his place again.
Don't stand there jabbering to yourself, but tell me your name and your business.
My name is Alice, but
It's a stupid name enough. What does it mean?
must a name mean something?
Of course it must. My name is the shape I am. And a good handsome shape it is too. With a name like yours, it could be any shape almost.
Why do you sit out here all alone?
Because there's nobody out here with me. Did you think I didn't know the answer to that? Ask another.
Don't you think you feel more comfortable on the ground? That wall is so very narrow.
What? Of course I would. If I ever did fall off, which I won't. But if I did, the king has promised me to. You may turn pale if you like. The king has promised me with his very own mouth to
To send all his horses and all his men?
Now I say, that's too bad. You've been listening behind doors, and trees, and down chimneys, or else you couldn't have known that.
I haven't indeed. It's in a book. Oh, what a beautiful cravat you have on. Or a belt. Oh, a cravat. Oh, I beg your pardon. I do so wish I knew waist from neck.
It's a very provoking thing when a person should throw a belt into her lap.
I know. It's very ignorant of me.
It's a cravat, child. And a beautiful one, as you say. I got it as a present from the White King of Gleam.
Did you really?
They gave it me. They gave it me for an unbirthday present.
I beg your pardon?
I'm not offended.
No, I mean, what is an unbirthday present?
A present you get when it's not your birthday, of course.
I like birthday presents best.
You don't know what you're talking about. How many days are there in a year?
365.
And how many birthdays do you have?
Well, 1.
And if you take 1 from 365, what remains?
364, of course.
I'd rather see that down on paper. Seems about right.
You're holding it upside down.
To be sure I was. Thought it was. As I said, it seems to be right, but I haven't had time to thoroughly look it over just yet. This shows that there are 364 days when you might get an unbirthday present, and only one per birthday present. There's glory for you.
I don't know what you mean by glory.
Of course you do, not until I tell you. By glory, I mean there's a nice knockdown argument for you.
But glory isn't a nice knockdown argument.
When I use a word, it means just what I want it to. No more or less.
The question is whether you can make words mean so many different things.
The question is which you master. Impenetrability, that's what I say.
You seem very good at explaining words. Would you kindly tell me the meaning of a poem called Jabberwocky?
As for poetry, I can recite poetry above other folks, if it comes to that.
Oh, it needn't come to that.
This piece is written entirely for your enjoyment.
Thank you.
I sent a message to the fish. I told them this is what I wish. The little fish's answer was, "We cannot do that, sir, because..."
I'm afraid I don't quite understand.
It gets easier further on. Then someone came to me and said, "The little fishes are in bed." I took the corkscrew from the shelf. I went to wake them up myself. But when I found the door was locked, I pulled and pushed and kicked and knocked. But when I found the door was shut, I tried to pull the handle, but...
Is that all?
That's all. Goodbye.
Of all the unsatisfactory people I've ever met,